Welcome to part 2 of NuVoodoo's Inflation Impact Study. Consumers are now facing the fastest growing price increases in 4 decades. We fielded this research for the consumer packaged goods and retail food industries to help them better understand how all this is impacting consumer behavior. Today, our focus is on the top food and beverage trends of 2022. Let's get started.
We asked study participants what they've been doing more, less, or the same compared to 2 years ago. The pandemic and resulting inflation have led to a greater consumer focus on both overall health and on the monthly food budget, especially among women. Here we're showing the net index positive scores, where we tabulate and rank the percentages according to more minus less.
What's in for 2022? More cooking at home and eating fresh food. What's out? Dining at restaurants and fast food. Consumers are making it a priority to eat more vegetables and to follow a plant-based, organic, and non-GMO diet. Overall, study participants, especially older consumers and women, are drinking less sugary soda and alcohol, and they're also staying away from sweets. Meanwhile, men under the age of 55 are doing everything more, even if it's only a little more in some cases. And that's also true for families with kids. Even the consumption of alcohol scores a net positive for parents.
There's been 2 years of pandemic restrictions and health scares. Plus, for many, including this father of 2, a long stint of being cooped up with kids out of school has resulted in a paradoxical mix of healthier habits, but also more frequent indulgent behavior as well. One thing's certain, 21 to 54-year-old men, families, and large households are all especially lucrative marketing targets for a broad cross-section of CPG brands at the moment.
As we narrow to specific food ingredients and ask consumers what they've been avoiding lately, sugar and diet sweeteners like aspartame top the list. Older consumers are watching their salt intake, and they're staying away from GMO foods too.
Although households with kids and larger households of 3 or more under-index our total sample, sugar still tops the list of ingredients that study participants say they are avoiding. Households with children present are also cutting back on caffeine, gluten, and dairy at a rate that over-indexes our total sample as well.
In our last video, we showed you which apps consumers use most and, therefore, are more easily reached with advertising. Here we track ad effectiveness. We asked participants to rate on a 1 to 6 scale how often they pay attention to things advertised on various media. Here we're showing the percentage who pay close attention. They rated each media channel's ability to command their frequent attention at 5 or 6. Consumers over the age of 55 are least engaged by most forms of advertising, with local TV and cable channels topping the list of ad channels to which they pay close attention. But it's only about 1 in 5 men and 1 in 4 women.
But among respondents 18 to 54, digital media at least rivals and often exceeds traditional forms of media in terms of ad attention. Google and YouTube dominate, where advertising commands the close attention of not quite half of men, and just shy of 4 in 10 women 18 to 54. As a duopoly where advertising is sold cross-platform, Facebook and Instagram's ad engagement rates show complementary strength. Facebook is stronger among 35 to 54 adults, and Instagram more powerful among those 18 to 34. Overall, the platforms show slightly more success attracting advertising attention from 18 to 54 men compared to 18 to 54 women.
With the exception of those over the age of 65, OTT or over-the-top streaming video platforms hold their own against more expensive video advertising competition, such as broadcast TV and cable.
Finally, among 18 to 54-year-olds, mobile and website ads compare favorably to higher-priced traditional media outlets. Also, ads appearing on smartphones and websites are on par with direct mail, but significantly outperform radio and billboards.
Large households and families with children are more attuned to advertising when compared to smaller households, singles, and empty nesters. It's not even close. Whether we're looking at legacy media or digital platforms, there is nearly a 2-fold difference in how frequently these segments pay attention to advertising.
In addition to the data that we've presented here, we have lots of other intel we're putting to use for clients in the food and beverage industry. We'd love to connect with you and your team to share more data and answer your questions. Set up a 15 to 30 minute call with me and our research team to learn more and even recommend questions for future research. Our studies can help you navigate the ever-changing consumer landscape. I'm Roger Malinowski, and I'd love to help.